Ever notice that with AI, you ask for advice and it sounds smart, but it could apply to anyone? Same question, same AI, but what if it actually knew you? Today I'm testing this. One version of a Gemini gem that I created knows nothing about me. And the other one, it knows my personality, my values, my strength. Will it make a difference? Hi, I'm Chantal and welcome to AI for 50 Plus, born before Wi-Fi, owning AI. In the previous video, I built a decision detective gem to help me think through difficult choices. But today we're taking it further and turning it into something that gives advice that actually fit you. Let's start with the before version. Here's my original decision detective gem in Gemini. And I asked it a question about iPhones. And I said, should I buy a new iPhone 17 or keep my iPhone 12? And let's see what it says. It asked me questions because that's in the instructions for that gem. I answered. And then it gives me options. Buy the 17, keep the 12, but with a new battery, or keep the 12 as is. With a comparison table, talks about features. But it's competent, it's fine, but it doesn't sound like this applies to me particularly. In other words, it could apply to a 22-year-old blogger or to a 75-year-old that hates change. And especially in the hypothesis, which is actually the heart of this gem. I need advice to make a decision, and it stays very non-committal and neutral. So I decided to upgrade it so that the AI actually gives me advice that feels like it's coming from someone who really knows me. So to do that, I actually started with NotebookLM. Because the secret to this better gem that knows me, and I call it the Decision Detective Knows Me Edition, is what's behind it. First of all, I created a notebook here. And I actually downloaded 3 personality tests. The Big 5 personality test, the strength profile, and the values finder. And it explains here, I won't share them with you because it could get very long and awfully personal. But it says these documents present a detailed psychological profile of Chantal through various personality and values assessments. The Big 5 test results highlight an individual who is exceptionally calm, not sure about that, highly extroverted, and strongly driven by conscientiousness and achievement. And then the character strengths, fairness, leadership, and love of learning, and the core values, deep commitment to self-direction, universalistic concern, and benevolent dependability. So it's a comprehensive overview with my traits, moral strengths, and guiding principles. So the Big 5 is how I usually show up in life. The character strengths is what I'm naturally good at. And the values is what really matters to me. So NotebookLM is the foundation or the knowledge base. But the important part is I didn't just attach the notebook to the gem. I actually went into the instructions of the new gem and changed quite a few things. So let me show you what I did. And here I am in the new gem, the Decision Detective Knows Me edition. And here is where the instructions are. The beginning is actually the same as the other gem, but where it changes a lot is here. Knowledge rules always on. Use my uploaded knowledge files by default, especially my personality reports. When you rely on them, name the file and the specific trait, strength, value you used. If knowledge is missing or unclear, say what's missing and ask questions rather than guessing. The step 1 has changed as well. Scan knowledge for relevant context. And the rest is the same. The analysis is the same except for this part, my likely preference. Infer it based on what I said and my knowledge reports. Cite the file trait, ask correct, and the rest is exactly the same. So it has to check first my personality test results to make a decision. So we went from generic to a helper that actually has some knowledge of what makes me tick. So let's see if it recommends something different. I asked it the exact same question, and I'll go back in here. So here we go. Exact same question on top here. Should I buy the new iPhone 17 or keep my old one? And it starts already differently. I've scanned your Big 5 personality results and the strength profile and gives me a snapshot. And the questions are different too. Some of them are similar to the other gem, and I will show you the responses side by side after. But you'll see that it also asks questions based on my personality. I answered them, and then it gives me the decision breakdown with the comparison table. But where it's really different is in the hypothesis, where it loops in my personality test results and tell me what I should be actually doing, where I'm likely to be happier. So that's very different. Let me now set it up so that you can see both responses side by side. We have them side by side. The NotebookLM edition is on the left and the original one is on the right. And if we look at the decision breakdown options, apart from having one more option on the more generic one, and I don't think I would do only with the battery replacement. So there's a comparison table and it's very similar, but where it's very different is when we get to the advice. And if you look at the generic one or the original one on the right, actually the advice is good, but it's kind of neutral and safe and doesn't base it on anything really, except for the answers. And if you look at the other one, the NotebookLM edition, then you have actually some recommendations based on those personality test results. And of course, it's a very different answer because it comes from giving the AI a map of who I am. Before you run off and upload your whole life into AI, 3 quick things. Number 1, personality tests are inputs, not destiny. They describe you, they don't define you. Number 2, some tests like the Big 5 are research-backed, but others like strengths or values should only be used as lenses. And number 3, and it's a big one, privacy. Never upload something that you would panic about seeing on a billboard. If it's sensitive, redact it or summarize it. If you watched this and thought, I want that, here's a recap of the process. Number 1, build a simple Know Me notebook in NotebookLM using personality tests like the Big 5, character strength, or values. Number 2, attach the notebook as knowledge to your gem. And number 3, change your instructions and add some rules to your prompt. Something like use my knowledge first and tell me what you used. If you missed the original Decision Detective Gem video, I'll link it in the description. And I've also linked in the description the gem instructions that I use for the NotebookLM edition. If you like this video, I'm pretty sure you'd love these, and I'll see you next week.